Hello and good evening, YouTubers. This is Guest75 again, coming with a new video on the Brotherhood of Entertainment. And today, my friends, I would like to touch upon the latest release material and what we know so far of the big movie that we're all anticipating and coming out in 2018, Black Panther. Now, we've already seen Black Panther feature in some of the previous Marvel films, so mainly in Civil War, that was where the characters introduced. And I think it's gonna be a very interesting movie because there have been some black hero movies in the past, but this one, if we can judge it from Marvel's reputation of making a good movie, this one should be on a whole nother level. So first things first, let's go over the cast from what we know from so far. So the lead is of course gonna be played by Chadwick Boseman, as he did previously in Civil War. Chadwick has also had a movie called God of Egypt. I haven't really seen that movie, but that was his other involvement in Hollywood that was pretty widespread. And of course we have another familiar guy, Michael B. Jordan, known from the Creed movie. And that also brings us to the director and writer of the movie. And that is the same director that did Creed, in fact, and that is Ryan Coogler. So that is said to be very interesting, because I really liked Creed as a movie. It had a good character development, nice setting, and a good mood. So yeah, really looking forward to him leading this Marvel movie. If we move up to the list, we have Lupita Nyong'o, and she's also gonna be playing in Black Panther. Of course, we know her from 12 Years a Slave, and of course, she's modeling, and she has many awards to her name. And then we have Danai Gurira, and she's actually in The Walking Dead. And well, so she's had some. She's a little bit more well known in the hero genre movies. And then we have Forest Whitaker. Now that I think is the most well known, one of the most well known in the cast. So apparently he's gonna play some sort of advisor to the Black Panther. We don't know for sure yet, but very excited that he's involved as well. And then we have Daniel Kaluuya. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know there is a movie that he's playing in that is headed by Jordan Peele, and that movie is hitting home very well. I think it's called Get Out, and it's running in theaters now. That is a movie that's doing pretty well so far, with him as one of the main characters in the movie, so that should be very interesting. And then we have Florence Kasumba, and what's cool about that is that she was actually already featured in Civil War as one of the special agents, special guard of the Black Panther. So that is really cool. Also, Martin Freeman as Everett Ross. I think he's with the National Security Agency, so one of an offshore secretary from the government of the United States, also from Civil War. And the last two that we know are Angela Bassett. Well, she needs no introduction. That is one of the biggest female actresses, especially black female actresses. And Andy Serkis. And Serkis is actually already been featured in the second Avengers film, Age of Ultron, and he'll be reprising his role as Eucilius Claw. So that is very interesting. The cast look like the real thing. I don't think there has been many actual really big Hollywood movies with a superhero as a theme with this many black actors. So that's pretty exciting to see. So now that we've seen who's gonna be in the movie up until now, let's have a look at the leaked images. I think it's on the Doctor Strange bonus material on the Blu-ray that just came out, and we see some really cool images of Wakanda. So that is this African nation that is supposed to be super advanced compared to the rest of the world. That's why what happens there has huge effect on the rest of the world. So that's pretty cool that they actually finally have that on the big screen. So that is really something to look forward to. So we see these images of beautiful architecture and everything built in nice materials, beautiful city, and also some really cool Black Panther screens. So him on the car, him in the jungle of Wakanda. And we just see pictures of the neighborhood. So everything looks very advanced yet again. And that is something that is just such a cool concept, I think, and typical Marvel. So we have some screens of some, I think, sacred places within Wakanda, because I think they're gonna take that from the comics, that they worship this Panther god, and the Panther god also has a lot to do with what Black Panther gets his strength from, and his forefathers and the entire history of Wakanda. So this last landscape pic just looks phenomenal, beautiful. I like the style, and it just shows what Wakanda is all about from the comics, the most advanced civilization on the planet. So the synopsis is also a bit more clear now. You could just check it out. Black Panther follows T'Challa, so Black Panther, T'Challa the king, who after the recent events of Captain America's Civil War returns home to the isolated, technologically advanced African nation of Wakanda to take his place as king, because of course if you've seen Civil War, his father was murdered, so he's now not only the Panther but also the king. However, when an old enemy reappears on the radar, T'Challa's mettle as king and Black Panther is tested when he's drawn into a difficult conflict that puts the entire fate of Wakanda and the world at risk. So that is a very enticing and cool synopsis. So obviously there will be some fighting in the movie, some hugely cool confrontations, and it will be very interesting how this all plays out. So now that we've talked about who's gonna be in the movie and what the movie is gonna be about, so what kind of story they're gonna be adopting, it will be pretty interesting to see. That of course something we won't know until we see the movie, but what kind of tie-ins there's gonna be in the MCU, so which crossovers, because in the last scene in Civil War it was seen that the Winter Soldier was put on ice in Wakanda, and Steve Rogers, the fugitive Captain America to be exact, was also in Wakanda. So it will be very interesting to see what kind of tie-ins this movie is gonna have, especially since it's the last Marvel movie to come out before the big new Avengers movie in the summer of 2018. So that's been it on Black Panther. Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and also what do you think is gonna happen in the movie. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and thanks again for watching.